If you've ever been doubted, this video is for you. What's going on, guys? So I'm actually a different filming location. If you guys have noticed, or maybe not noticed, I'm not in my car. My car is 4,000 miles away, 5,000 miles away. I'm in London, England right now filming this. I actually just came back from a conference from the ARC conference, the Alliance for Responsible Citizenship with Dr. Jordan Peterson. Was fortunate enough to receive an invite, so that's where I am this week, and that's why I'm uploading this as I'm filming right now. So again, raw, unedited. I really don't know what I'm going to say. I have a general idea of what I'm going to say. That's kind of the point of these raw videos. But going back to the initial point that I started out with, I did a lot of reflecting as I was flying over here, as I've heard the awesome speakers talk throughout the rest of the conference, as I've heard Dr. Peterson himself talk about it, as I've met people that I've only seen on Instagram videos and YouTube videos who I've looked up to for a while, people like Kevin Roberts, Dr. Owen Strand, Eric Weinstein, Rob Henderson, a couple other people that I just really admire quite highly, and all the people that are here, really. And it brought me back to about 2 years ago, or a little more than 2 years ago, one of the two. I remember I had just finished putting the cap on writing my second book, Toxic Immaturity. And I wanted to, and for those who have not read the book, it's a book about men currently in America, masculinity in America, what's going wrong with it, why men are falling off a cliff, it seems, in every area that matters, unfortunately. And I was working to put a little twist and finishing touch on that book. And I remember I went to a lot of my friends and I asked them to do blurbs for it. I wanted the book to be for men who wanted to aspire to be better, and I figured why not just throw a bunch of men who I really respect inside of the blurb section and have them write out a blurb and have them promote their business, promote what they're doing, promote whatever, and just have their names on it because I really respect these guys and I really like these guys. And it went off almost without a hitch, with every single person checking every single box off that you could possibly check off, except for one. And I want to tell that story of that one person today because it's going to keep coming over and over and over as we go throughout this video and the theme in this discussion. And I remember I was at a conference. That's kind of where we all assembled at this point. I was at a conference, and I remember I pulled each one of these guys aside privately because I didn't want to discuss it in front of a lot of other people for various reasons, but I wanted their decision not to be public. I wanted it to be private between me and the person. I figured that's common courtesy. And so I did the same thing with this gentleman who I'm referring to now. Won't say a name. Don't want to say a name. It's not important. And I remember I pulled him aside, and this guy's outwardly a very, very successful guy. A lot of things going for him, really has improved his life quite dramatically, and a lot of people look up to him in multiple ways, from a personal standpoint, from a professional standpoint, business standpoint, attitude, confidence standpoint, whatever. He's a very outstanding guy inside of our community, and he's well regarded in that side, and he should be, because he's deserved it, and he's worked really hard for it. But I remember I pulled him aside, and I asked him, hey man, I'm writing this book, haven't really told many people about it, but I'm telling you because I think you could, I would like your contribution. And I think you're a really, really great guy, and I would love your contribution. And his reaction was very telling. And every single guy that I talked to about this beforehand was like, yeah, man, sign me up. Let's do it. And they were very eager to hop in, but this guy was not. And it was very, very interesting to hear his reason for why he was not. And the first words out of his mouth after I told him this idea, what I've poured my blood, sweat, and tears into for 3 years: what gives you the right to write this book? What gives you the right to write this book? And I thought about that question for a very long time, not in the moment, but afterwards. And I think I told him in the moment what the answer actually was and what the answer is. And I said, nothing. But I'm going to write it. I'm going to write it. And it's a really good book. And it turned out to be a really good book. And it helped people. And I think it progressed the discussion of what I wanted to progress down the line as I told it to him. But as I was thinking, I was flying over here. And as I was thinking about this, that phrase that he said, what gives you the right, is actually code for another phrase. And that other phrase is, you don't deserve to be here. You don't deserve to write that book. You don't deserve the success that you have poured your effort into. What gives you the right? You don't deserve this. And I am here to call big, fat bullshit on that response. That is a bullshit response to anybody, because I'm now going to take you guys on a field trip here. Now, as Douglas Murray said, this is East London. This is East London, here. I got invited to the wild world of East London. It's not where any of the landmarks are. And now I figured that out. I've never been to the UK before, but now I have been. So we'll go to Central or West London if you want to go see anything worth seeing, but that's beside the point. That statement is nonsense for most anybody that says it, because the person who says that is jealous that you're taking that leap. They're a hater. They don't like that you're doing better than them in one area versus another. What gives you the right? Nothing gives you the right to do anything. But that's why the doers get ahead. And the people that hate are petty idiots that don't know anything about you, anything of what they want to have success look like for you in your life, and probably don't have a lot of success in their life internally because they're projecting onto you something they feel inside about themselves. And case in point, I was going to go speak at the conference next year, and I got kicked off the stage temporarily by guess who? The same guy. The same guy. You don't deserve to be here. You don't deserve to write that book. You don't deserve to go on the stage. And by the way, I was going to go up to announce my business and help a lot of people, which I eventually did. And the people that were running the conference, they let me do so, thankfully, and because they're not petty people and they want to see me win, which is why I'm grateful to them. But this guy didn't. And I almost left the conference on that day. I remember I texted my dad and I said, I think I'm just going to take off. There's no point in me being here. I'm clearly not wanted in that capacity. I was promised to do that. I poured a lot of work into doing this. I was going to launch the next stage of my career, which is why I'm even talking to you guys right now. But I didn't, and I stayed, and I ended up getting reinstated, and it all turned out fine. But the point is, I'm in London with Jordan Peterson and Douglas Murray and Eric Weinstein and Ayaan Hirsi Ali and everybody that deserves to be at ARC, which are the people that actually put in work and do things. And that person isn't. And no one else that I know is in it. I came here by invitation. I was very humbled to see an invitation pop into my email. I didn't expect it, didn't know that they even knew what I did or who I was or whatever. I just filled out a form and I was subscribing to their newsletter and I like their content. I like Dr. Peterson, obviously. I work with his team at the Daily Wire for a time. But for anyone who has ever gotten that kind of shred of doubt before inside of their life, inside of where they want to go, if a person has hated on them for no reason, if a person has said the stupid claim of, you don't deserve to do this, like what gives you the right to do this? Nothing ever gives you the right. You don't deserve anything. You take what you get. You eat what you kill, and screw anybody that says that you can't do that. Because I'm in London and he's not. And you're probably, if you're watching this still, at a place where your haters aren't either. Think about that. Be proud of yourself. Don't get high and mighty. Stay humble, but take acknowledgement of where you've been. Don't let anyone dictate your life. Don't let anyone control you. Don't let anyone occupy real estate in your brain. Because I guarantee you, that person is small inside their head and low-key wishes that they were big inside your own. Love you guys. Talk soon.